Welcome to Leader of You, Leading Beyond Limits. Awaken, you matter. This summit is about one thing, it's about you. It's about recognizing that you matter and awakening to the truth that you may have power to lead your own life and break free from your limitations that you may not be aware of, the blind spots, the things that we don't know subconsciously, and create the future you always wanted. And over the course of this event, we'll deep dive into beliefs, habits, actions that shape your life, both consciously, subconsciously, and, and many of us are held back by the limiting beliefs we don't even know exist. So, and a lot of times those beliefs are formed in childhood, and a lot of times we don't know they're driving our train, making our decisions and our actions, ultimately our outcomes in life. So when we start seeing that the outcomes aren't aligning with what our dreams are, we really need to stop and check and look under the hood. And today, I have a wonderful person that I have met just recently, and she is tremendously a great support to people to serve and help them, especially in business, in marketing, and a way to create a platform that's going to help you grow. And today, I would love to introduce Arbra. Arbra.
Hello, I'm here.
Arba Cooper left her career as an engineer, electrical engineer like myself, 1996 to pursue entrepreneurship. Arba, that sounds very, very familiar because that's the same year for me too.
Yeah, that's why we connected.
Yes, exactly. After designing hundreds of websites and working on digital marketing agency and being a score mentor.
Hmm.
Awesome. She gained the skills to excel in digital marketing. And SCORE, if, for the audience, is an agency that helps small businesses grow by mentorship and resources. I
Hmm.
highly recommend looking into it in your local area because there are people willing to help and serve and give back to the community, including you.
And they're nationwide.
And they are nationwide, and
Mhm.
they're tremendous. They're great people. I highly suggest it. Arbra is a multi-talented entrepreneur with a wide range of skills, including web design, technology, training, speaking, and acting.
Yes.
Wow. And has helped numerous entrepreneurs successfully launch and expand their businesses. Now, Arbor, you've done a lot. You sound like you've gone through a lot of things in your life, just like me, and and you experienced a lot of different things. And all of a sudden, we end up here, simply taking our experiences and sharing it with people that we can make a difference in their life and give them the ability to excel and find ways to create their dreams and
Yes.
live in those dreams. And that's really what this whole thing's about, is leading the way and learning how to lead the way. But one thing that's important that I learned personally, and it took me decades to learn this, is we need support. We need the people who are going to walk with us to help us get to where we're going to go. And we need the support, and we need the love in the community to help each other. And this is the whole thing, is creating that environment. So when you have a person that says, yes, I want to lead the way, then there's resources available to help them lead the
Yes.
way. We can't do this alone. We never were meant to do this alone.
Exactly.
So tell us, Arve, what is it that you help everybody with? Because it is, I'm excited about it because it is, we tend to make everything so hard, but this is so easy. It makes a big difference. So we can be the entrepreneurs, be the business owners, and be in our vision instead of
Hmm.
getting chunked down into doing this of figuring out all the mechanics of it. And this is one thing you solved beautifully. So tell us
Yes.
about it.
Okay. So, well, first, I've been in marketing since the 90s. Okay. And in the 90s, marketing wasn't that difficult.
Mm.
It was a lot of handshakes, a lot of meeting people in person. You could put up a website and get people to your website. You go out and network and whichever. Then what happened when the internet came about in 2000? Then that's where all of a sudden, if you weren't technical, then you were left behind.
Mm.
And so a lot of us baby boomers, that if you didn't keep up with technology and you're still trying to do business the old way, then a lot of the new businesses, they were sending out the emails and going on all the social media and all of that stuff and getting a lot of business. And it made it that even a local business could then become global.
Hmm.
If you were maybe had local products, but now you can ship them local. You can talk, I mean, global, talk to people global. So what I have done is kept my hand on technology. And I have looked at my clients that had just started with just doing their websites and then realizing, okay, now you need to know how to do email marketing, social media marketing, videos, networking, following up. So for the average solopreneur who may be great at baking cakes, they're not trying to figure out how to do all this technology. So there's a lot of solutions out there, and I've looked at a lot of solutions. There's
Hmm.
a lot of platforms. And the thing I will say is I'm not trying to say one is better than another. But what I am saying is that if you need help learning how to do all of this stuff, then I have chosen one platform to be able to help an entrepreneur, one platform that can do all of that. And I actually work one on one and help people to navigate through that.
That simplifies things. And it goes back to the thing is if I tell a room of 1,000 people to dance, I'm going to get 1,000 different dances.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing I wanted was to dance. Okay. So if I want a dance, then it makes it easy for me to get that one dance and know how to be taught how to do that one dance. So I'm not distracted by 1,000 different dances, and it still accomplished the mission to get
Mm-hmm.
it out there because it gets into mechanics and we get into the weeds so much and we come out of our vision. We just fall out of it. And then when we fall out of what we're creating in our business, then we're not creating it. It's not moving forward. We're caught into doing this. And this
Right.
is a problem that you solve beautifully. And
Yeah.
it is very easy to learn. And I know that if they don't have any background at all, you've got their back.
Right. Because you and I talked about the differences in platforms. And
Yes.
we talk there are some really advanced marketing tools out there
Hmm.
that you can individually try to puzzle them together. And even though there's Zapier,
Yeah.
that's a whole nother thing. So you can either take all of these individual things and try to make them work together, or you can get um, uh, more advanced services, and then you got to all of a sudden you're trying to figure out how to use that, or you can just use something simple. So what I have found is, again, a platform that is simple to use. Everything is integrated. It's really designed for the startup type of
Hmm.
entrepreneur, the one that it doesn't already have a 5 million contact list. They're
Right.
not doing all of these different things. They just have either they have their little widget that they're trying to sell, or their services, or maybe they're a coach or a consultant, and they
Hmm.
just want to just promote that. So that's what I do is I work with them to help define who is their target, what is their uniqueness, and then
Hmm.
really what's the best approach for them to use. Because
Absolutely.
you'll hear people that'll say, "Oh, you gotta do social media, and you need to be on this one, this one, this one, and this one, and you need to post
Mm-hmm.
5 times a day." And no, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
That's not for everybody.
No, no, it's not. I, I can tell you from experience because starting from scratch, and I hadn't met you yet. And all right, so if I'm looking at this realistically from somebody's coming in cold to all these new different platforms, and there's a whole plethora, you get
Yes.
lost, and then all of a sudden you start spending a bunch of money
Hmm.
on different platforms and still don't get what it is needed. As an entrepreneur, Our mission is to get to market as fast as possible and get our wares out there in order to generate revenue. And so if we're spending, like me, over 6 months trying to figure out how all this works, I'm already in a loss,
Right.
putting
Right.
capital at risk. And there's no reason to do that.
Hmm.
And it doesn't have to be all the platforms either. And we don't have to do it as everybody's saying that, because a lot of times that doesn't work. You're spending a lot of energy and getting nowhere and a lot of money and not being effective on
Right.
it. So again, we go back to who you are, what is your values, what is your uniqueness, and what light do you want to bring to the world.
Right.
Then find the who's going to walk with you, because at the end of the day, it's going to cost you a whole lot less, and you're going to get a whole lot further, and you're going to build a team that's
Right.
going to carry you, and don't have to worry about that. Just let them teach you what to do and how to do
Right.
it, and just implement. And if you get stuck, pick up the phone, send an email, or help, and
Yeah.
get it
Yeah.
solved and move on.
Yeah, I had a client call me this morning, and I mean, I had really kind of just rolled out of bed, only because I'm a night owl. But
Same.
he so he called me. No, he didn't call me. He texted me first, and he texted me and he said, I have a quick question. Are you available? And he's a good client of mine. So I said, what's up? And it was something that was simple for me. I have learned to not always say, oh, it's easy, it's simple. I don't
Mm,
say that to my clients, because what's simple and easy for me is not simple and easy for them, may not be simple and easy, but it was. So when he called me, he was quite tickled though that I stepped him through, and it was Canva,
oh
actually,
yeah.
because
Mhm.
I love Canva, and
Same. Use
I
it profusely.
yes, and I train on Canva, and I take people step by step, no dumb question. I
Mm-hmm.
take them little by little. And he created something and just didn't know how to download it.
Aye. Okay.
So,
With or without background, right?
yeah, that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother thing. But yeah, it was so simple. It was
Yeah.
like he's like, I showed him how to do all the other stuff, and I was like, oh, I never showed you how to download your design. So that's the
Uh,
stuff I do. Is I used to do group training, but I realized that group training just wasn't effective, because when I train, my level of training, I'm hands-on. I'm
mhm.
hands-on. I'm like, share your screen. And I don't like to, when I do group training, I share my screen. And then I'm over here just like, okay, click here, drag there, do this, do that, da da da. And I don't know if I'm really connecting with the people. Because a
Mhm.
lot of people will sit back and go, okay, okay, and you only get the ones who are more extroverted that may say, excuse me, I have a question. So, and then in groups, you have some who are maybe more advanced than others, and then you have those that just don't want to ask a question. So I've
Uh,
learned that I do one-on-one training, $50 an hour. And for that $50, it is whatever you need or you think you need.
yeah, that's right.
Because I help flush that out as well, because I've had people that will come to me, again, in the example of let's say an email that they need to send out an email, and so they'll show me an email that they received that may have been from a let's say a large retailer,
Right.
and they're like, I want to do an email like this, and then I'm like, why? Do you even have all of these products? Are you doing some kind of monthly special? Are you, do you, so then when I help and I break it down and I say what's really relevant for you and your audience, then let's focus on that. And so that's why at the end of that 1 hour, I guarantee they're going to have at least something tangible that then they can, go away with.
You pointed out something very important too, or the fact I was just thinking when you were telling me you went from groups one on one, because everybody's a little bit different and not everybody's at the same spot, and you go and meet them where they're at. And that's
Right.
important.
Mhm.
But when we go to YouTube and we go research and get all these instructions, well, it only helps us so far. What we don't get from that is the interaction and connection and the understanding and the depth of what you do need. All right, we'll go
Mhm.
looking for a specific thing, but one if it only teaches you that one specific thing, yet you need another step that's not in that video that tells you how to get there and so forth. So YouTube is great. Don't get me wrong; it gives a
Right.
lot of information, but I want everybody to understand that we're all human beings and we all need connection with one another to support us. We just can't get it all from social media. We
Right.
need human being interaction. And that's the way we were built, and that's the way we were meant to support each other and find people who you can connect to and
Right.
relate to. Because we're not looking for everybody. We're looking for people who want to make a difference in their life and that we can work with
Mhm.
and help you succeed. And
Mhm.
that's who we're looking for.
Yeah, because I think about I was a score mentor for seven
Mm-hmm.
years, and what it was a love hate because I love the fact that I was able to use my experience and my expertise to help the majority of the score. Uh, I almost forgot the word. Well, most of the majority of the score, the people who came to score were new businesses, solopreneurs, people that
Mm-hmm.
maybe they had an ideal and they needed a mentor to help them flush it out. So, what I loved about that is I really was able to serve and able to help. But then where I was restricted or where my hands were tied is that if I was telling them they need a website, okay, now you're going to need a website, you're going to need email marketing. Well, of course, they wanted me to show them how to do it. But as a mentor, we
You
couldn't.
can't. No,
Yep.
you can't.
We
Yeah.
we can't. We couldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
So then I would have to say, well, GoDaddy has a thing, Wix. You can. So I'm sending them to off to the wolves. Kind of figure it out yourself. So what I do with my training is I do a combination of both. If someone's coming to me and they want a website, then I'm not just going to say, okay, fine, pay me the money. Here's your website. No, I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to mentor with them and try to find out more about, do you really need a full blown 5-page website just because you hear that's what everybody's saying you need?
Not
No.
today anymore. You don't.
Right. You just need like one
Yeah.
page, and
Mm-hmm.
here's the important, stuff. And so I've even created worksheets that they can like, if you answer, complete the fields, fill in the blanks. If you can fill in the blanks, then that's enough to get you started.
That's it. I mean, seriously. And then I know I've seen your work, and I was like, well, if I'd known that 6 months or a year ago, well, a little over a year ago now, it's like, wow,
Yeah,
it could have been that easy, and I could have
right.
been a lot further along. I'm thankful for what I've gone through because now I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot that you're talking about now, so I'm very familiar. So when I run into people like that, at least I can guide them. But it becomes easier now for me to say, well, call Arba.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And let me tell you that my ability to help more people has just exponentially grown because of AI.
Mm-hmm.
Because it used to be the only reason or the main reason I would do group training is because I just didn't have the capacity to do one-on-one training. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
for and it would take. I used to do this website website workshop series, and it was like a 5-week series and this was obviously this was 2015. The reason I remember I did it in 2015 is one of my clients is still with me from that workshop.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how long it
That's
would really
impressive.
take
Mm-hmm.
to show someone how to build their own website. But now with AI,
Time quicker, a lot quicker. I
it's
saw that. I really did. It's like, are you
yes.
kidding me? Because I use a little different platform because I've got different businesses like that. But I was thinking, for a simple business, maybe even for this one, I'm seriously considering just making it that simple and go there, just because
Yeah.
it has the AI capability and you can run fast. I mean,
Yeah.
she generated a landing page for me in 10 minutes or less. It was amazing. I was like, okay, well,
Oh, it was no minute or less. It
yeah,
was, I think in the whole call, our call was in that whole time. I did a whole campaign.
you
Remember,
did.
we started with figuring out your business. Like,
Mhm.
give me a few words for your business. Just put that in. It generated a profile. Then after that, we said, okay, now we need a landing page to promote this. It was the
Yeah,
summit, the
yeah, it
actual
is.
summit.
It is for this,
Yeah,
and
we
she
said,
just
okay,
banged
if
it out
you wanted to
like
use
crazy.
this to do your summit, we did the business
Hmm.
profile. Then we said, okay, now create us a landing page. It created the landing page. Then, okay, now we need an email to promote. And it created the email. And all of that is customizable. That's where I
Hmm.
come in
Yeah.
because like someone can just buy the tool. And that's what
Hmm.
makes the difference. Is that's why I'm not here to say, oh, get this platform, get this tool. It's get the tool and let me show you how to really maximize your efforts. Let me, real because just cranking out a landing page and an email and then doing social media and just totally AI, that's not going to get you anywhere.
No, it needs personal touch. The authentic you needs to be
You're just going to get a
represented.
faster no.
Yeah, a
Like,
bit quicker, but yeah, but it still requires a human being and having a heartbeat to really
yes,
be to touch people,
yes,
and know that you're real and authentic. So yeah, but
yes.
still, I love to speak. I was thinking earlier when we were talking about that solo entrepreneur. For one, you got your core that you're offering. Then you got admin to go with. You got accounting to go with it, and then you got marketing to go with it. And so I was getting ready to go in my closet and get like 10 different hats and show which one I was going to put on for this role. And I'm serious. As a
Right,
solopreneur, that's no kidding. And we have to
right.
change it. So we look for opportunities to work the time down to where it's efficient and be
Right.
real intimate with our time usage because
Mhm.
it's easy to lose time and let it slip and be ineffective when we're needing to get out there and build our business and have fun doing it.
Right, have fun. Here's what's even worse, what I've seen a lot of times when an entrepreneur gets oh, you're gonna get inundated with all of these opportunities. Try this platform,
Yeah.
try that, free trial of this, and do da 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 da. And so
Yes.
you get all of this stuff. So all of a sudden you get paralyzed. And so the worst thing is the one who does nothing. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, I get all of my business word of mouth. That's limiting. That's fine. I totally agree, word of mouth. But I'll tell you, like, William, we just from last time we talked, and I gave you somebody's name.
Yes.
What did you do? You looked that person up.
Absolutely.
You look that
Mhm.
person up. So even though I told you about someone word of mouth, if you don't have a landing page or some kind of social media
Yeah.
presence or maybe a video somebody can watch,
Absolutely.
then then that's it. Then all you've gotten is because a person if I'm going to refer someone to you, then I'm not unless I'm their sales agent, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna tell you everything about them, you know?
No, and look at it from this standpoint too. Let's go back to time efficiency, being intimate with time. Okay, well, I don't want to waste that guy's time if he's not a fit for what I'm looking for.
Right,
All right, or mine. So it'd be great to meet him, but is it necessary that we invest our time in that manner at that particular point?
right.
So I looked at him and I was like, I want to know this guy because he is a business coach, and I'd love to have him on the summit and introduce him. He's also a believer in Christ, like we are, and I was
Mhm,
like, it just checks all my boxes, and he's able to expand a reach to serve other people I can't get to,
mhm,
but
mhm.
an opportunity for him to be on this platform. But because he had that landing page, we can make that
Right,
assessment and then make that decision to
right,
go. So
right.
it is important. Word of mouth is great, but it's limiting.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So Anyway, there is a couple of things I think you wanted to mention. You got a free ebook, and I was looking to see maybe we can drop that in the chat and if that show up for everybody real quick. And it's ebook, create landing pages that convert. Well, I think
Yes.
that's pretty important in any business. We want it to convert. You know, it's great to have followings and everything, but at the end of the day, we need to put some money in the bank.
Yeah,
People
and
are
there's a
big.
formula to it. So
Yeah.
what that guide is for, and it's not some 20 page, whatever. And there's people that are there's all types of learners,
Mm-hmm.
We talked a little bit earlier about YouTube, but with YouTube you could stop, go, or whatever, trying to do it. And then some people need to write it down, whatever. So that guide, what I do is I break down the format of a landing page. What do you really need to have on a good landing page? And it's a building block, and I just build upon each part of it. There's a formula to it. When you see a really good landing page, then it's like I look at things so different now, and I like kind of break it apart. As engineers, we
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
that. And
Got
I
to take it
break it
apart first.
apart, and I'm like, okay, there's the enticing headline, there's the well, attention grabbing headline. There's some great graphics there. Oh, there's the call to action. There's all it. So that's what the guide is to do, is to help people to understand the components of a landing page. And then of course, if they want my help to create it, because
I would
learning
highly
and creating
suggest it.
is two different things.
I would highly suggest it because a lot of times, and folks, I've been there a lot of times. You get in your own head and you
Mhm.
think it has to be a certain way, and the audience probably won't even perceive it that way. To be honest, they don't
Right,
perceive it a whole different manner. But to
right.
have her marketing expertise since in the 19 or 19 what
90s. I started
1990s,
in the 90s.
yeah, in the 1990s to now is a wealth of experience, and what she's charging for $50 an hour is insanely insanely.
I've been told.
Yeah, that it's worth the investment. Believe
Yeah,
me, people spend. I'm telling you, people spend thousands of dollars to get the same information you don't get from her. So
yeah.
I would not blink twice about spending $50 just to get to know her an hour and pick her brain for an
Thank
hour.
you. Thank you. And here's the way I think about it. Many times there's a lot of trainers, or there's a lot of programs, and they say 497.
Yeah,
Get this program for 497, and maybe it's a 90 minute thing or whatever. And a lot of times, 497, whatever, it's group. It's a group.
it
And
is.
then you got somebody, and like I said, they're dragging, dropping, whizzing, banging, and you're sitting there trying to, oh, and you'll get the recording. That's you'll
That's
get the
typical way, and that's why this format's a little bit different. It's more for serving disseminate. It's more for serving and connection than anything
Mhm.
else
Yeah.
on it. I mean, I have my own course. I teach it as a group. I teach it. I'm going to teach it virtually, but I also will work with one on one
Right.
for those that really need to find it. And I have access to a group, a community that can take you further as well in leadership. And that's
Hmm.
I'm a I'm a connector, and I
Yeah.
like to connect people, and I like to see people succeed, and I go looking for resources basically of how people can serve that can serve you on it
Right.
and
Right.
improve your life, because I know what happens when somebody has a hand in lifting you up and you become successful. There's a lot of gratitude, and we
Mhm.
receive from that just from the byproduct of the natural way for that to happen. And
Exactly.
because of that, that's an amplification to further people for us and for you out there. It's a win-win game. And
Yeah.
if you believe in God, it's a actually a four-way win. If you look at it, because it's win-win in between you and I, it's a win for the next person you contact, and it's a win for God. So it's a
Yeah.
four-way win. You can't get any better than that.
Yeah. And something I want to clarify, because it's like I still believe, obviously I believe in summits. That's why I'm doing this with you. I believe in
Yeah,
summits.
that's
I
good
believe
reason
in
to.
webinars and all of that,
Mhm.
because what I have noticed is that there's different types of people. Okay.
Hmm.
And there's the ones that they need to hear it the first time, right?
Hmm.
So what I mean by that is they'll go to summit, they'll watch something, and it's their first time hearing it. It's open their eyes, and then they'll
Awareness.
maybe
Hmm.
need to hear it again. Yeah, the awareness. But then there's the person who is finally at that stage that they're like, I need to get this done.
That's it.
That's
Hmm.
that's the one I work with. I work with the one I need to get this done. So
Committed action, intention, all that, and rigor. It's
yeah,
time to move, and let's get off the pot and let's roll.
yeah,
Um,
let's
and
get it
and
done.
that's exactly, and that's when things happen. That's where the magic happens. That's where momentum builds, and things really blossom. And so again, we all need the who to walk with us to
Mhm.
to win the game together.
Right.
There's no solos. There's no lone stars that win. Yeah, you can win, but you're not going near as far as if with a
By
great
yourself.
team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not going to go far by yourself, but you also have to be realistic, and that's what I love about, the person I referred to you of
Hmm.
understanding your personality. You know,
Absolutely
there's
critical.
you can't judge your walk and your purpose and your business. You
Hmm.
can't judge it by what the other person's doing
Absolutely not. And to
because God has
simplify that,
gifted
yeah,
you. God has
yeah,
gifted you with
that's
certain
right.
skills.
Let's
Yeah.
simple. Let's simplify that equation. Let's reduce the equation. How about that? Broadly, there's four types of personality groups. All right, there's a controller, there's an analyzer, there's a supporter, and there's a promoter. So let's just put them in that four basic groups. Well, a controller usually doesn't work, runs over the supporter. The controller needs a supporter. The analytical person is not the promoter.
Mhm.
And so we all work together. The point being is the personality you are, you can only connect with 25% of the people because you know how to connect. You don't
Mhm.
know how to connect to the other 75% because you haven't more than likely been taught and know
Mhm.
how to stretch into those type of areas. And this is what this other guy is talking about. Now, hopefully, Fred will join into this summit. I
I
invited him, and we'll have that conversation because that's more of my bailiwick as well as in the leadership is identifying those things
Mhm.
and seeing where you are, find your blind spots, and find out what's holding you back, what is not supporting you anymore. More than likely, like I found out not too long ago, I had a 13-year-old driving the train making decisions for me in my 50s
Hmm.
because
The-
it is because you're 90 to 95% of your decisions are made at the subconscious level, and what
yeah.
happened in your childhood carries into your adulthood, and you don't know it. And that's why I'm saying it's highly important. You need to get a mentor, and you need to stop if you're not getting the results you want out of life. You need to open up the hood and have a deep look and
Right.
find out why.
Right.
You don't need to go through life like I did and nearly die and look back on my life and say, "What was it for?" That's craziness, and
Mhm.
and you don't have to do that. And this
Right.
is really the reason here:
Mhm.
opportunity, connection, love, giving, a way of being, and a way to go through where you want to be and what God gifted you with. All right.
Right. One thing I want to piggyback off of what you said about the four types of people
Mhm.
and you're only reaching 25%. I want to speak to those that think that they are everything. I'm every woman. You're not, because
Mm-mm.
that's what I had to work on, is
Mm.
believing that I had to be well-rounded and I had to know how to do everything. And no, that's not how
No,
we're meant. We are not meant to be I'm every woman and I know everything. No, let people help you.
that goes back to the who. We all need the who because we can't be everything, and we're not meant to do it alone. If you
Yeah.
attempt it, there will be cost, and they're going to be high.
Oh, I lived that. I lived
Hmm.
that.
So
I
did I.
lost everything trying to,
Yeah.
I lost everything trying to be everything.
Uh, and I nearly lost my life. I'm a double transplant patient from all that, and I learned my lesson, and now I'm here to serve and help and be true to myself. And Arba the same. She is true to herself, to her
Yes.
core, and she knows how to serve the people they're meant to come to her to serve. And
Yeah.
that's where it gets real, and that's where it becomes great.
Right. And that's my passion. That's why I am so passionate about people not spending more money than they have to on all of these tools and all of these things because they think they need it. It's like, no, just get what you need.
Yes.
And when you start getting a return on what you purchased, then get more, because that's what I mean. I lost everything because trying to buy this, buy that, do this,
Yeah.
do that,
It'll
and
bankrupt you in a heartbeat.
all that stuff doesn't work.
Yeah, it
Yes.
does.
Oh
And
yeah.
I mean, I've gone through it. I've been through it. I've faced, I mean, realities, even just coming to this spot is cost a lot. But,
Yeah.
I'm just going to trust God like you did, and it's going to work out.
Yeah.
It comes down to people again, time and connection and pouring out love and being there to serve people. You get
Yeah.
to that point in your life, things are going to start transforming to a great work
Exactly.
in
And
your life.
you don't want someone else to experience what you experience, knowing if you can help them.
That's right. I mean, we've gone through it. Listen, take take our experience and just be open minded and find a mentor and help to do it. All right, we're coming to the close. Arba, you want to say any closing words? We got the gift up there. It's ebooklandingpage.now.site/home. I've got it in the chat. Hopefully,
Yeah.
everybody can see this. And then go get that and use the wisdom all these years that she's poured into this and let it help you, let it serve you.
Yeah.
And then, then call her just to introduce and see if she can be a service to you and guide you and get you off the ground and get your business rolling.
Exactly. Now, being that I'm a web designer, I have way too many websites, but but all roads still lead to me. So if you want to book a meeting with me, or anything, then back here on my screen, Arba DT. That's the easiest. Arba DT stands for digital technologist. Then you can also find me on the internet. I'm all over the internet. Arba Cooper. So I got that right there. arbacooper.com.
Yeah.
And just book some time with me. And finally, Vision Doers. Visiondoers.com is my give back. Not give back, I don't like to use that word. That's my pay it forward. Okay.
Mm.
Every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern, I do free training. I'll either talk about marketing or I'll bring in a guest speaker. That's how I met Fred. Fred was my
Aha.
guest speaker. And I'll bring in a guest speaker that will talk about all of the other subjects that I don't talk about. So I can have someone finances, personal development,
I gotcha.
yeah.
Okay. All sorts of connecting possibilities and resources. I'm basically the same thing with me is to bring people that can provide value that we can trust
Yes. And then
and to
have a
serve you.
passion for the solopreneur.
Yes, and then
Yeah.
to serve you because we know when you succeed, we're all going to succeed, and we have a chance to transform this world to a better place. And
Yeah.
believe me, the way it is right now, I've got grandchildren.
Yeah.
I want to see a future for them, and the way this future has been looking so far hasn't been great, and it really bothers me. But
Yeah.
guess what? We have a choice to change it, and I choose, and so does Arbor, choose to make a
Yes.
difference in this
Yes, we
world.
do.
And come along and join us and be part of the movement. Yep, absolutely. And don't forget, if you haven't gotten the VIP experience, sign up for that so you can watch this at any point in time. Everybody's schedules are different. And I know for myself, when I wanted to watch a summit, I can't get to it in time. I'll
Right.
usually get it because it's important. And this right here is very important to listen to. There's a lot of value, and not
I
just in the mechanics of it, but in life value.
I learned about the platform that I use from a summit. I've learned a lot of things from attending a
Mhm.
summit, because that's what I
That's
think. Summit is the awareness of
it's
all the different stuff out there.
It is, and there's no reason to just go all the different places because we're always marketed to. We're bombarded with, it's like Ivor said, it's way too much information,
Yeah.
and it distracts, and we never get anything accomplished, and we waste a bunch of time and money on it. So take a professional that knows what they're doing, has the experience. Start out in that direction. Yeah, you may switch and go bigger. That's great, but at
Hmm.
least get your foot in the door in the right way and get
Hmm.
focused, laser focused on your business and make directional change and improvements as you go. So also we are looking for 99 or 100 founders in the vision of you. And if you enroll with that, it's $99. And what it gets is all VIP experiences for any future summits. It gets you a deep discount on the Value of Values course that we're putting in. There's a live course that I'm going to offer, and that's a one time. I'm going to do that like twice a month, and then I'll have a course that's 4 weeks long. And so if you invest in that future now and be legacy leaders and join the communities that we're involved in, it will expand your reach tremendously. So I encourage you, if you're willing to stand up and make a difference and join us, then become a legacy leader and join the founders portion of it, and just click the link
awesome
on it. So
awesome.
Again, also what we're creating here is for these special 100 people that has vision, connection. We value your input. Give us ideas that you'd like to see and that we can work with in a community and build.
Right.
Because this is not only the summit. We're connected in a lot of different places and a lot of different people across the world. And so this is basically a way to create your ripple.
Yeah.
And see the world change.
And what I'm hearing about this too is, like I said earlier, instead of getting inundated with all of this other stuff from people you don't know, you don't like, and you don't trust, then become a part of this where you've already vetted, the people, and that we all have the similar vision.
You get the resources. You get the people that know what they're doing, and and especially around the leadership. These people I've known have been doing it for 30, 40 years and coaching all sorts of different things. And so is Arba. Okay. So that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Take advantage of our experience, our leadership, knowledge, and you're just getting going. It's overwhelming. Let's use a word. Let's pick a word for the rest of this year. Let's make it easy.
You want to pick
a word?
Pick a word.
Make it easy.
Is that the word?
That's gonna be my word. That's my word. Listen, make it easy, because
I think my word is collaboration.
Okay, well, see, all right. So you audience that are listening, pick a word. All right, and make it count. Okay, yeah. Collaborative is important because this is what we're doing as well, and it requires connection. Yeah. All right, and connection is currency. Have you ever thought of it that way?
Yes. My pastor taught us a whole sermon about currency.
And currency is not just money. Okay, right. Currency starts with current flows.
Yes.
All right, in relationship and in everything. So get connected. It's not all about YouTube, AI, and everything. Get connected and get with some people that know what they're doing. So anyway, we're gonna wrap this up. God bless you. Thank you for listening. Get the VIP. Go book an appointment with Arba. Let her help you. All right. And we'll see you the next time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.